All right, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Opening items, call to order.
Good evening. Trustees present tonight are Trustee Contreras, Trustee Arellano, Trustee Castillo, and Trustee Aviña. You have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Item number 2, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Okay, thank you. B, presentations. Number 1, AXA Administrator of the Year, Karina Montaño. Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you, President Aviña and Board of Trustees, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, members of the public. Today it is my great honor and my great privilege to share with our community a little bit about Ms. Karina Montaño. So Ms. Karina Montaño is a bulldog from Calexico, a proud bulldog, and she has been a teacher in the Calexico Unified School District, has also been a school principal, and is now our Director of Instructional Technology. And this year, Ms. Montaño was nominated as the AXA Administrator of the Year for Region 18, which includes the Imperial Valley, and it also includes San Diego. So it's a very large region. So to be nominated as the AXA Administrator of the Year that encompasses so many school districts with thousands of administrators, also I'm sure very deserving administrators. It's quite an honor. So I asked Ms. Nunez, I asked Ms. Montaño if she could provide me some words coming from her. So I thought, what better way of introducing her to the community than in her own words? And this is what Ms. Montaño shared with me. I'm truly honored and humbled to be named an AXA Administrator of the Year awardee for San Diego Imperial Valley. AXA and the Association of California School Administrators is a respected statewide organization that champions school leaders and excellence in public education across California. I'm deeply grateful for this recognition and for the trust and support of my superintendent, our board, district leadership, and families, especially for the amazing colleagues I'm privileged to learn from and serve alongside every day. As the Director of Instructional Technology, I'm committed to servant leadership, listening first, supporting others, and keeping students at the center of every decision. Together, we're creating future-ready learning experiences where technology amplifies great teaching and helps students collaborate, think critically, create, communicate, and grow in confidence, nurturing their growth as learners and as people. I'm excited to continue this work and expand opportunities for every student. I'm proud to serve this community, and I'll keep working alongside educators and families so innovation becomes access and access becomes success for every learner. So Board of Trustees and ladies and gentlemen of the audience, at this time I'd like to ask Ms. Karina Montaño if she could come and approach the dais on behalf of the school board. Yes, round of applause. We have a certificate that we're going to present to Ms. Montaño. A certificate of recognition presented to Karina Montaño in recognition of, being named AXA Administrator of the Year. So on behalf of our school board, Karina, and then also, as has become a tradition, Ms. Karina will be getting an Historia de Calexico, History of Calexico, both in Spanish and English, right? That gives a history of Calexico written by a local author. So at this time, we could take a picture with Ms. Montaño. the butts in there.
Sorry, a little bit nervous coming up here. Good evening, Board, Superintendent Jimenez, and everyone here tonight. I can't say enough. I'm truly humbled and honored to be receiving a recognition by an organization that I hold very dear to my heart. I've been a board member for our local chapter for the last 4 or 5 years, and then part of the Region 18 board as well. So it's just been a very humbling experience, learning from colleagues and other educators along the way. AXA is just an organization that's very strong in servant leadership. And so to be learning along the way and be part of this is just an amazing experience. Servant leadership is something that I strive to have every day. And by working alongside all my amazing colleagues and administrators, families, students, it's something that helps me get to my goal every day. So thank you again. And I'm very humbled and very honored to be recognized tonight. Thank you.
Board members, any comments?
I also just wanted to say, shout out to my daughters who are in the audience tonight.
Yeah.
Without my family, I wouldn't be here. So thank you.
Congratulations, Ms. Montaño. Board members, any comments?
No, congratulations and great work.
Saying congratulations.
Again, like all of us, just well-deserved, and we're happy for you, and we'll celebrate your success here.
Thank you.
And Ms. Montaño, it was Mr. Jimenez mentioned, and you just mentioned too, servant leadership. And you are a true example of what that is, servant leadership. Having experienced myself firsthand, having you as a teacher at Jefferson when I was the principal there, and later you became the coach, later became the vice principal at a different school, then principal. I've seen firsthand that your servant leadership, always putting the needs of others first, before yours, students and staff. So I thank you for that, and thank you. And I also want to mention that years ago, I can't remember the year, but you were also Teacher of the Year. So that speaks a lot about you. Teacher of the Year, Administrator of the Year. So congratulations,
Thank
very
you.
well deserved.
Thank you. Thank you again, and thank you for your support.
Thank you. Okay, item number 2, IVROP Teacher of the Year, Chef Fernando Nunez. Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you. Thank you, President Aviñas. So another one of our honorees this evening is Chef Fernando Nunez. Chef Nunez has been in Calexico as our culinary arts teacher, who has taken our students just to a whole nother level when it comes to the culinary arts. One of the things that I admire the most about Chef Nunez is that it's not only the skills and knowledge that the students acquire in his class about culinary, about cooking and baking and food prep and meals, but it's what he teaches them as just being a human being, right? Being a good, responsible, hardworking, dedicated person, being a good student. What his expectations are not only standards-based, or not only about learning the curriculum, but it's also learning to be more responsible and hardworking, and all those values that will take the students wherever they go in their lives, whether it's in the culinary field, or become teachers or doctors or join the military. But whatever they do, those skills that it's so important for him to teach his students and for them to learn is something that they will take on with them beyond Calexico High School. So again, in his own words, here's Chef Nunez. I'm deeply honored to be selected as Culinary Arts Teacher of the Year by the Imperial Valley ROP Community Foundation. To receive this recognition here in Calexico makes it even more meaningful because our program is rooted in community, culture, and opportunity. In our kitchen, students don't just learn recipes, they learn discipline, teamwork, creativity, and pride in their heritage. Living in a border community gives us a unique culinary identity. We celebrate the flavors of our region while teaching classical techniques, food science, and professional standards that prepare students for college, careers, and entrepreneurship. Every lab, every service, every challenge in the kitchen is an opportunity for growth. Watching students gain confidence, manage time under pressure, and discover their passion for food is the greatest reward of all. This award truly belongs to all students that set foot in our kitchen. Their hard work, resilience, and talent inspires me daily. It also reflects the support of our administration, colleagues, families, and community partners who believe in the power of culinary education. In Calexico, food is family, culture, and connection. I am proud to help shape the next generation of culinary professionals right here at home. Thank you for this incredible honor. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Chef Nunez.
Mr. Nunez, you're not off the hook, Mr. Nunez. Yeah. Please. Please.
Hello. Yes, well, thank you, board members, Mr. Jimenez, Calexico Unified Administration, and community. I'd like I mentioned in the email, I deeply honored, and I will receive this nomination, this award, on behalf of all my colleagues, CTE at Calexico High School. I don't know if a lot of you guys know, but about 20 years ago, I applied. Actually, I was forced to apply here at Calexico High School. I never thought of myself being a teacher in a high school. I was working in the industry, and back in the days, Dr. Mendez and the principal at the time, I forget his name, Mr. Barraza, called me up, and then they said, we want to interview you for a job. And I said, no, I don't need a job. And then, so they convinced me to come and talk to them. Throughout the interview, I said, I'm a professional. I don't have a teaching credential. And they said, that's no problem. So through IVROP back in the days, that's how I started my career as a teacher. Through IVROP, in a couple of years teaching at the high school, I got my teaching credential. So this is kind of like a loop coming around. I'm looking at my retirement soon, and it is quite the honor to receive from IVROP Community Foundation this recognition. And I thank IVROP and again the school district that kept me here for almost 20 years now. So, and I want to just say thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nunez. Board members?
Thank you, Mr. Nunes, and congratulations. Well earned.
Congratulations again, and I'm glad someone forced you. Thank you.
Mr. Nunez, again, congratulations. I think Calexico Unified's been blessed to have you, serve our students and throughout the years I think we've seen we've seen you, yeah. We've seen Mr. Nunez grow and grow the program and the kitchen and the services over the number of past years. So again, thankful for that. Again, I had a chance to, talk to students and other colleagues at the showcase at the fairgrounds recently. And again, many said very, good things about you. IVROP Superintendent, Edwin Obenfield, as well, just praised, the leadership in the program and what he's been doing for Calexico. So again, thank you for all you've done and congratulations.
Congratulations, Chef Nunez. I think one of the most fabulous experiences that I had here at Calexico was the new kitchen. Building it, there's a lot of people here that were involved in that project. It was so awesome to see that come from the floor up. Well deserved. And when I heard at the IVROP board meeting that you won Teacher of the Year, I actually shouted out loud. Naturally, it came out, and we can't wait to honor you at the Dancing with the Stars Gala. Congratulations.
Mr. Nunez, congratulations and thank you for everything that you've done for our students. It's been great. Like they said, a lot of stories. Everybody says great things about you. But on the personal note, I mean, my son was in your class 13, 14 years ago, and you sparked an interest in him to cook. So when we're at the house hanging out, he's the one that leads the kitchen, and I just step back and eat his food. So thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And at this time, we'll take a 5-minute recess, little break. So maybe people can take pictures and with family and friends. Okay, so 5 minutes?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. How louder? They got it. Okay, thank you, everybody. That was a nice little break there. Okay, moving on to presentations. Item 3, Measure Q construction update.
Thank you, President Aviña. So the board has asked for a couple of updates, and so we're here delivering. Our first update is on our Calexico High School Measure Q project. I'm going to ask our CBO, Mr. Luis de la Torre, to approach the podium, and then he'll do the introductions and get us started on this update.
Thank you. President Aviña, trustees, Superintendent Jimenez, community, and colleagues, thank you for being here tonight. This evening, our construction partners and technical experts we have here will be an update on the Measure Q project. As you likely observed around the campus, there's been significant construction activity across the high school, and it's right smack in the middle of the high school. So maybe some of you have seen it, others haven't. As you know, this project has been several years in the making. Can you hear me? Yep. Several years in the making, beginning with the removal action plan and subsequent demolition efforts. We're currently focuses on essential infrastructure improvements and site preparation, which is necessary for the construction of the new buildings. We recognize that construction taking place in the center of an active high school campus presents challenges for students, staff, administration, for parents, and our community. We are very grateful to all of them for their continued support and flexibility and their understanding of this construction is going on. These temporary inconveniences. Oh. Thank you. Is that better? Thank you. These temporary inconveniences ultimately will result in enhanced facilities and improved educational experience for both our students and our staff. We would like to extend a special thank you to Mr. Moreno, our high school principal, Ms. Rioseco, and the entire high school administrative team. They have been an integral part of our construction meetings, and we're meeting on a weekly basis right now. They have been ensuring that all the inconveniences are mitigated to the best possible extent. So we truly appreciate them, and they'll be part of the coordination throughout the entire project. We're also pleased to acknowledge tonight that we have the presence of Mr. Ben and Ms. Lorena Minor from our Measure Q Citizens Bond Oversight Committee. Thank you for being here. And without further ado, presenting this evening will be Mr. Jimmy Sanders from Sanders, Inc., Mr. Joe Triolo, Justin Hartman, and Mr. Robert Arrington from Balfour Beatty. So, Mr. Sanders. Thank you.
Board of Trustees and Superintendent Jimenez, thanks for inviting us here tonight for the construction update. So we also want to acknowledge, as your construction team, the professionalism that the leadership here at Calexico High has exhibited, and also the leadership there at the high school. They've been a pleasure to work with, as you can imagine, starting a construction project coming up out of the ground with students all around, and 100-year-old campus is very challenging, and it's been a pleasure to work with the Balfour Beatty team and also with the Calexico Unified team. So we have several construction photos that we'd like to slide through and show you, and so we're going to turn that over to Joe with Balfour Beatty to give you the details on that.
Thanks, Jimmy. Hello, board. Adding on that, I'd like to say that you guys have the best kids on this campus. I'm telling you, I get stopped more times when I'm driving around in my cart, thanking me for making the school better, and it's something that you don't usually see in our business. So, starting with the photos here, this is our compound, our trailer compound. We have 2 trailers in there, one for the general contracting staff, and the one that you're looking at right there on the left is the DSA inspector's trailer. So we do all of our work out of that. Probably seen our gate right there, the entrance with our signage, trying to keep everybody going in the right direction. Next. Do I push it? No. Okay. These photos here is when we started the demolition. You can see the big pile of concrete sidewalk that used to be around the pool building there and the fencing. Some of the pictures on the right, we're putting in the underground communication lines and infrastructure for the communication that's going to be distributed throughout the classrooms, the different buildings, and on the bottom left there is going to be the location for the new switchgear, the IID transformer and all the main switchgear that will distribute the power to the different buildings. You can see what it looks like. I mean, when you walk through the campus and you just see a box with a lid on it, there's usually a lot of stuff going into that, and you can see all the work that they go through to put those conduit lines in addition to all the stuff we find when we start digging. It's kind of like a treasure chest. You know, we find stuff that we didn't know was going to be there, or it's in a different place than we thought it was going to be. So it's always exciting when we're digging underground. So the picture on the left there, you can see all the different colors of pipes. That's a green sewer line, and we got a fire water, domestic water line, and a gas line, and basically we like to call it spaghetti underground. So, and then that's it for the pictures. I'd like to introduce my assistant superintendent and Robert Harrington, who's our project engineer, part of the team. And like Jimmy says, it's been a pleasure working with the district and the school. It's a one-team effort.
So all of that work, construction work that was shown in those pictures is essential in order to get the buildings built. You know, all of that work, when the buildings are built, you unless you're a construction person, you forget about it. But that's what's providing the water, the sewer, the data, the electrical, the fire alarm. It's all ran underground, and so it's a very time-consuming and detail-oriented work in order to get all that in place so that the buildings are supported properly. So this increment one scope of work, which is under construction now, includes all of those site utilities. It includes the excavation and rough grading, and then the photovoltaic shade structures by Climatech. And so remember, part of this work is the excavation and the pad preparation. At some point, we're going to give the board an update on that geogrid. We're not ready to do that yet because we don't know if we're going to need it, but just keep that in your pocket. Okay. So this started in December, and it's scheduled to be completed in June. So these next slides here are updated renderings of the site plan of the buildings that are proposed to be constructed. So we have the new admin building, the two new STEM classroom buildings, the multi-purpose building, and the field house. Okay. There is an updated rendering of the admin building from the parking lot. Okay. And we have hard copies here that we're going to leave here with you too. So. This next view is the back side of the administration building, and so on the left there, my left is the STEM classrooms, and on the right is the administration building. Okay, so that's the corridor that the students are going to walk through. Then that's the administration building on my right, the STEM classroom building, and then the red structure there in the back, that's the multi-purpose building. Okay. And that's another view of the backside of the administration building. Notice the hardscape, the landscaping, the site lighting. Your campus is going to be beautiful. And then that's the STEM classroom buildings, and then in the back there, the multipurpose building. And so the construction on that phase one, all of that site utility excavation is going to complete in June. We'll go right into in July. We'll start on the construction. We're still working with Balfour Beatty on the construction timeline for all of that, but we're looking at 18 plus months to wrap that up. So when we come back for that next phase, we'll have a very detailed construction schedule, but we're scheduled to complete that first part and keep going right on with the second. So that concludes our presentation.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wow, it's pretty impressive, exciting. I think most of us here went to Calexico High School many years ago, and to see what it's becoming is pretty impressive. Thank you for that information. So you said 18 to 24 months for finishing increment 2, the buildings that we just saw? 2 years? Okay, all right, that's great. Okay, we'll see. Questions?
Yeah, no, I think everything, we're back on track with the timing and all that stuff. I know that, we had previously reviewed a lot of contracts and things like that need to go before any digging or anything like that takes place, and I know that that's time consuming. It seems that we're back on time, on the right timeline, and I really appreciate all the effort that you guys are doing to keep us on time.
I have to agree with Mr. Avina. It's impressive and exciting at the same time, and I think I'm going to hold you to the landscaping. I think it makes a whole lot of difference when you throw some green. But it's exciting. Thank you.
And I'll just add again, it's a process, and there's unknowns that happen and occur. I just want to emphasize communication is key. So please continue those open lines of communication with our superintendent, with our oversight committee, and everyone involved. So that's important to us. So thank you.
And Mr. Castillo, if I could jump in on your comment right now, we do have weekly meetings where Sanders Incorporated and Balfour Beatty and district staff is there. So every week we meet without skipping a beat. And then, of course, open communication throughout the week as necessary for other things that may come up. But we do have a standing meeting every Wednesday. Every Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, with the whole entire team. The group that you're seeing here is probably not half of the team who attends those meetings. So we have meetings. We have people where they're in person at the construction trailer, and then we have people zooming in from different parts of different places and attending those meetings every week. So that communication is definitely happening. Yeah.
And timeline is important, but so is cost. But we don't know the cost until those bids start coming in, right? When is the board expected to see those bids coming in for the buildings, for the construction of the buildings?
If we could address that at the podium, thank you, Mr. Sanders.
So we would we're looking at coming back in June to present that so that we can keep right on going in July. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you.
And one more comment. Just want to thank everybody that's been involved in this. I know it's a lot of people to mention, just lots of people. And the administration, right now, Mr. Moreno, your team, thank you. As a current school principal, I can only imagine the chaos and the challenges that this poses, but people on the outside, you don't really see it. Only you guys know what you're going through, and make it. We'll just find a way. Yes, you make it all look so nice and smooth. So thank you for that, and thanks to everybody that's been part of this since the very beginning, the very first buildings. Prior board members that have been in this table here, and prior also superintendents that were here when all this started. 2016 or before? Can't remember the date. 2016, so almost 10 years ago. So a lot of people have been here and come and go. But thanks to everybody. And that's it. Thank you. my grandkids will come to this high school.
And you know, to clarify a little bit, definitely the buildings with A2, A3, A4, and all that planning started in 2016. Measure Q was passed by our voters here in Calexico in 2021. Just, you know, don't want people to think it's been 10 years for
Yeah.
Measure Q.
Yeah.
There's other measures before that.
Yes,
Measures before
yes.
that. But with Measure Q, where I like to say, you know, on schedule, on budget, and on track. So we also want to thank, I think, on behalf of the entire board and our Calexico Unified School District, thank our community for making this possible, because if it wasn't for our community who cares about education, cares about our schools, cares that our students go to what's going to be the highest quality state-of-the-art buildings where they're going to learn and acquire knowledge and prepare for their futures. Our staff are going to go to work every day in a very inspiring and motivating environment. It makes a difference. The physical environment of a building makes a difference. So we're in deep gratitude for our community for supporting our schools in Calexico. We are very, very fortunate that we have a very supportive community that gets behind education. And, you know, I know once a bulldog, always a bulldog, and there's a lot of bulldogs out there. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Okay, moving on to item C, comments from the public.
No, number four.
Oh, sorry. Number 4, the energy modernization project update.
Thank you, President Avina. So another update that we have, we couldn't have planned it better, because you just saw an update on Measure Q, kind of like at the beginning of the project. And here we're bringing an update on the energy infrastructure modernization program towards the end of the project. And so as many of our community members have seen as we drive around Calexico, we have energy solar panels. We also have charging stations for EV, electric vehicle charging stations throughout our schools. And so as we prepare, and including this in my superintendent's weekly report, as we prepare for a flip the switch ribbon cutting ceremony, we've got to pick some dates towards the end of March. We're hoping to do something to bring this recognition as these projects are being completed, and in large part they're complete already. We'll be scheduling a ribbon cutting ceremony in the near future. But without further ado, I do want to provide this presentation to the board and to our community on our energy infrastructure modernization. And again, Mr. De La Torre will get us started with this.
Thank you. Thank you again. Second construction meeting tonight. So tonight we will receive a construction update from Climate Tech regarding the energy infrastructure modernization project, as Mr. Jimenez mentioned. As you know, this project was approved by the board in 2024, and as Mr. Jimenez mentioned, we are now nearing completion. Many of you have likely noticed some of those visible improvements across all of the district sites, such as the solar shade structures that Mr. Jimenez mentioned, but others are not so visible, such as the replacement of HVAC units. Over 240 HVAC units were replaced, upgraded energy and CO2 monitor control systems, and roof replacements. So those are less visible, but certainly impactful. The district has strategically leveraged and braided multiple funding sources to support this project, including a grant from the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District, CalShape funding from the California Energy Commission, the Inflation Reduction Act federal reimbursements. Our district also qualifies for the Inflation Reduction Act low income incentive bonus. Also a municipal lease purchase agreement with Bank of America, a loan with Bank of America, and of course district funds. Importantly to note, the projected future utility and operational savings will offset the cost of this investment. We understand, just like with Measure Q that we presented, we understand that this work occurring on active campuses created day-to-day logistic challenges for students, staff, administrators, and the community. And we sincerely appreciate all of the principals and all of the staff that were very amiable to allowing us and Climate Tech to come in and do this construction work during the school year. We also like to extend our gratitude to the leadership and for the collaboration to ensure that the disruptions were minimized, and now we're nearing the end. So tonight, presenting from Climate Tech is Ms. Ashley Lowe and Mr. Ryan Crowell. And without further ado, I leave it to them. Thank you.
Good evening, Board President Aviña, members of the board, Superintendent Jimenez, members of staff, and the Calexico community. We're excited to be here. We've been here many times over the last decade. Before this phase of work that we're going to share with you tonight, we were awarded a phase of work back in 2015-16 time period when there was a state grant available for energy efficiency. It was considered the kind of a pilot program of leveraging grants and guaranteed savings to address your infrastructure that had passed its useful life. That program, over a few years, you were able to see the results of it and measure the savings on your utility bills, and you use that as a proof of concept for this, what we call a phase 2, and the grants that were available now in today's world. So we're going to share an update on mostly on phase 2, but also just the historical savings performance of all the work that's gone online over the last decade. The program goals of your program are all about improving the learning environment, comfort and safety. Principal to that is improving indoor air quality, modernizing failing infrastructure. The rated useful life of energy consuming equipment doesn't last as long in the valley as it does in other parts of the state. So it's just a constant effort to be staying on top of your aging infrastructure. And in the process of doing this, you're also helping to reduce your energy and maintenance costs and mitigate the rising utility costs that IID has been experiencing, especially in recent years. This gives you a recap of the milestones of phase 2. So the phase 2 included a second RFP that was issued, which we responded, and we were fortunate to be awarded to work with you again. And we developed a program over the course of about a year in collaboration with staff and the board, and that was approved for implementation on June of 2024. We anticipated that it would take 12 to 18 months, maybe in some cases up to 2 years, for some of the solar to become fully operational with the utility. And since that time, we've been working with your site administrators, your staff, the Balfour Beatty team, Sanders team, to coordinate that construction effort. In addition to that, there was an amendment that was approved in December. That was because we were already on site. Some of your Measure Q projects that you just heard about triggered the need for Title 24 solar and renewable energy projects to be added to those new buildings. And since we were mobilized and had the expertise in that area, we were asked to help meet some of those compliance and make sure you could also get federal incentives for that work to get reimbursed for that. Tonight, we're here to share an update with you, and then we'll walk you through some of the next key milestones for a flip the switch and obtaining the grants that you guys have been approved for. The Energy Modernization Program touches a number of infrastructure priorities. This gives you a snapshot of what was addressed between phase 1 and 2, ranging from HVAC modernizations and building automation systems, interior and exterior LED lighting. Calexico Unified was really ahead of the curve in meeting some of the state mandates that just went into effect for LED lighting. You no longer can get LED lights, and luckily over the last many years ago completely modernized to LED. As of today, you do not have HVAC units that are past useful life. You have addressed all of your need throughout the district. It's not to say in the future that you won't have to continue to address those as they age out, but this is a Herculean effort, and great job on thinking through how to stay ahead of that. Solar and EV charging, and when we did our first phase of work, we also were asked to look at solar, but 10 years ago, the rates in IID really didn't make sense to explore solar at the time. But in recent years, because rates have gone up and the price of solar has come down and there's federal incentives, the timing for solar and the return on investment really made sense to incorporate that. So we'll share some examples of what this installed solar looks like. Also some paving projects that we helped you to get grants for, but ultimately Mr. Sanders' team was responsible for implementing. This is a lot of data on one page, but just wanted to give you a snapshot of what your energy master plan looks like. Obviously, a lot of planning and coordination that went into collaborating with staff to develop this. What you see in blue is what was implemented back in the phase 1 program with the Proposition 39 grant that was received from the state. In phase 2 is the recent project that we're just nearing completion. And what you see left in orange are potential projects that were ultimately kept out of the scope for value engineering purposes, and in the future, maybe energy measures that you would want to explore in the future. This gives you a summary of what was included in the phase 2 scope of work. It was modernizing any antiquated HVAC across 14 sites, building automation system upgrades at one site. You'd already done most of your building automation updates in your previous phase. CO2 monitoring district-wide, which was a requirement to get a CalShape grant. And then solar structures at 12 sites, EV charging at 9, roof replacements at 2 sites, windows modernizations at 2 sites, which because of some DSA concerns and other planning, those projects are currently on hold for the window modernizations, and then the electrical upgrades associated with all this. So everything is complete except the window modernizations that you see on here. This is just a snapshot of some of the older antiquated HVAC that we wanted to show, because a lot of times you don't get to see it since it's on the roof. And this is the after pictures of some of the new equipment. And one of the things that we wanted to help the district do is compile a library that you could have on a tab on your website, like a microsite, if you will, of before and after pictures of all the projects that you've completed, so that people can get an update of what you've done. The next several slides are going to show you drone footage of the installed solar, and it's in alphabetical order with Aurora, Blanche Charles Parking, Cesar Chavez, Dianza. They all look really good. The Family Resource Center, Jefferson, Kennedy Gardens, Mains, shade structure that's right by the playground. MOT, this is specifically a project that qualified for a local air pollution control district grant. So we'll give you a summary of the grant that you were able to obtain for this, but this was EV charging for the buses and solar at the MOT facility. Rockwood, William Moreno. You see in the front, the campus, and then towards the back as well. And there's a few other sites. We just did the ones that we had drone footage from the time. Dual and Mains have systems that are coming online, so we'll be able to show those as well. The solar has a monitoring system that allows anybody with the login to be able to see the performance data of the solar. And so what we have is to be able to share with you is the performance data so far, and our IID annual data to see the impact of solar starts in April every year. April every year is when they send us the annual report of all of the data. So we can come back in a couple of months once that we receive that data to show you, but we can show you so far what's online. So this is just a sample. And then this gives you a sense of how much solar you're producing at different times of the day. So it makes sense that at the sunniest part, midday is when you're producing the most. This is only showing, at this time when this was taken, you only have about 40% of your systems that were yet considered permission to operate and generating power. So once all of them come online, you're going to see a much higher production of kilowatt hours that are being consumed. But this right now is showing it's about 38% of your solar, of your energy needs that are being offset by solar. This right here equates to about $750 per day. Once it is fully online, you're going to see the value of that solar that's produced in the range of $700,000 to $800,000 per year on average, in more once the high school Measure Q project come on as well. So this is just the starting point. This is savings performance that has been validated from your IID bills. So this doesn't come from our engineers' reports. This comes every year in April. IID sends us an updated report of what you are saving since the first time that we started to do energy efficiency improvements in phase 1. So you see in 2017 wintertime is when the LED lighting projects and some of the HVAC efficiency projects came online. Going to LED makes a big impact. It reduces your wattage of the fixtures 50% right off the bat. So doing that was really a low-hanging fruit that allowed you to make your buildings as efficient as possible so that we could then in the future size solar to a more efficient baseline. What you don't want to do is size solar to buildings that have inefficient equipment and don't have some of this low-hanging fruit done, because then you're producing more power than you really need. So to date, it's over $3.3 million in avoided utility expenditures. That doesn't include operational savings and doesn't include the solar savings since that the systems came online over the last year. This shows you before and after on a monthly basis, so you can just kind of see a comparison that way too. Grant funding status, Ryan, do you want to, Ryan Kroll is our grant management analyst, and he's been working very closely with your county authorities and federal incentives to help you obtain these. So we're not going to go into detail of each one, but just to let you know the status.
Good evening, President Avina, members of the board, Superintendent Jimenez, staff, and members of the community. Just wanted to give a brief overview of the grant funding status. I know as a part of the program, we applied on behalf of the district, so just wanted to give a brief lay of the land. For the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District for the solar and EV at MOT, that was around 2.276 million. We are in the final stages of receiving that payment, so we're working with the county right now. For CalShape, this goes towards all the filters, monitors around the district. That's around 1.5 million. We're in the final stages. I believe the district has already received 75% of that award, and now we're just completing towards that final 25%. For the Inflation Reduction Act low income, as a part of the program, the Calexico fits in a persistent poverty county, and we applied on behalf for all 12 sites that received solar, and all 12 sites received allocation. It is a competitive program, and now I just applied for the Measure Q project at Calexico High School, so looking forward to hearing back from that one as well. And for the paving project, very similar to the solar and EV, working on just the final stages of receiving that. And then for the incentive program, as mentioned, 11 of the 12 sites have come online, so now we are gearing up to go towards that 5.2 million to receive reimbursement for the work that has already been completed. So we're in the initial stages of that. For that, you weren't able to apply once the solar came online, so we are working right now to receive that money as well. So.
So just a note on that Inflation Reduction Act, the bottom one, it's just important to note that that is a rebate program, that after it's considered permission to operate with IID is when you can then apply for it. You actually apply through the IRS. You apply like you're getting applying for a tax return, even though you don't owe taxes. And then in the form of a refund, you get a direct pay tax incentive from this program, which is equal to 30% of your solar investment. And all of those have to be just completed before the end of July of 26. Like the applications have to be in before July of 26, which you guys are in great shape to do. Once we complete, there's just the last little bits of construction and closing it out. As Mr. Jimenez and Mr. De La Torre mentioned, we were gonna help the district to plan a ribbon cutting, flip the switch event at a few of your sites. These are some examples of community events and assemblies and different ways that not only can you have a ribbon cutting ceremony, but also in the future tie this to curriculum and, you know, opportunity to learn about sustainability and energy technology through assemblies with various grade levels. These are all services that we offer through our Climate Tech Community Connect program. It's just as a value-added service to help share your story. So we are thinking about doing that March 18th through 20th for the Flip the Switch event, if those dates work, but we're, you know, open to changing it as well. Just a little bit about next steps. It's going to be about 12 to 18 months for completion of the Measure Q projects at the high school, but the rest of the projects, we anticipate that by May of this year, we'll have a notice of completion ready for board consideration. And then we'll continue to stay on and measure the savings and obtain grants and help you with that. So thank you for the time, and we'll answer any questions.
Thank you. Thank you. Board members, any questions?
Yeah, no, I know that climate tech is, you know, when you truly look at the impact of return on investment, you know, and especially when you don't have to fork out the money right up front, but you're looking at, you know, the multitude of impacts that it has, the different type of grants, the different type of ways of recovering money. And then once everything is active, you know, the continuous recovery of funds that you no longer have to use. With I know like even with the ACs, you know, with the prior board, we always had problems with the different systems. And we had a multitude of different systems. Now, you know, everything is one brand, a Carrier brand, and then, you know, it's easier to fix because we're prepared for that. There's a tracking mode, you know, onto everything that they're doing. And I'm really appreciative that we're truly getting what you set out to do for us, you know, and we're getting that return, you know, based on you being honest, you completing the jobs, you putting in the effort, maintaining our staff, communicating with our staff, and making sure that, you know, everybody's doing their part in order for this to work out. And I'm really, really appreciative of that. Thank you.
If I just may make a quick mention, Ashley showed the sample dashboard in one of the screens, right? And for us, that's confirmation that the solar shade structures are producing electricity. So we were very excited when we got all of the permissions to operate, which we received permissions to operate for all sites. The only one that we are still doing some work on is for mains. We're able to see this dashboard on most of the sites. Some of them are still coming through the SolarN dashboard. But Francisco, who is our Director of Maintenance and Operation, a daily task for them is to take 30 seconds for his team to go in and take a look at the dashboard and make sure that the solar shade structures are producing electricity every day. So we haven't yet seen the new IID bills that will show the net generation or the offset and start comparing that to previous years. But be certain that we are already saving electricity. We're already supporting our environment as well. So, and we'll keep track. We'll make sure that those solar shade structures are functioning every day. And if not, then we partner with Climate Tech to make sure that we mitigate any situation right away.
Thank you.
Again, I guess thank you for sharing, Ashley, and your team, the Climate Tech team. Again, I recall 10 years ago starting with Prop 39 and all the lighting and automation projects. And it's good to see now the additional projects that have been completed and sharing that with the board, plus the additional future projects and tasks to complete. So again, thank you for that, and we look forward to monitoring and looking at some of the cost savings for the district.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation. A great presentation.
All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the information. Exciting that we're saving money, right? That's great, saving money, return on investment. And in addition to all that, what's also pretty cool is the shade. I'm looking at, I've been at the principal at 2 of these sites before, and just having that shade in the summer as kids are waiting for their parents. I mean, that's gold too. But thank you for everything.
President Aviña, if I could add to that, I think that's been our number one comment from community members, from parents, is the shade, yes. Right? And of course, I'm sure they'll be happy to know about the cost savings and everything else, but they're happy that their students will have a place to go get some shade in if needed. So I did want to go back to some of the comments that were made. That one of the things that I think made this possible for us, one of the things that I believe was helped us say yes to this investment, right? In addition to all the positive it has, moving forward with the cost savings, with what we're going to be saving with our utility bills, and the close to $11 million that Climate Tech has helped us, assisted us in getting and continue to get in applying for more grants, local, state, and federal grants. Is that you don't see oftentimes an insured type of a loan, if you will. So our loan that we leverage to pay for the total cost in addition to the grants is actually guaranteed through our contract with Climate Tech. So if we do not achieve the cost savings to pay for the loan, right, that cost is guaranteed by Climate Tech to be reimbursed back to Calexico, and that's in our contract. So when Climate Tech was so confident and so sure that we will materialize those savings and we will get our return on our investment back, I think to us that was the deal maker, right? That says, okay, if they're willing to put their money on the line like that, that was a humongous reassurance for us in moving forward with this project. And so I'm very, very excited about that. We're starting to see, I know that the IID, I think recently through their cost, I think has increased for I think more than 30% in the past several years. That would be in the 30% increase that is incurred on the consumer that we would be paying, and now we are utilizing the energy of the sun to help offset the cost of producing that energy. So we're very excited to be a part of this. I want to thank the entire team, just like Balfour Beatty and Jimmy Sanders. We have been meeting for the past year and continue to meet, even though we're almost done, with Climate Tech every week as well, with the whole entire team. Like I said, the people that are here are not about half of the people who show up. Miss Gila Madrid is there. Miss Mayra Preciado also attends. So we have a group of people who attend these meetings, so we could keep those open lines of communication, and share concerns, issues, questions, problems, and everything. So it's been a very positive relationship and a very positive project thus far.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Okay. All right, thank you. Moving, item C now, right? Comments from the public.
No comments.
Okay, no comments. Item D, consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted upon by one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action.
Move for approval.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion, item D passes 5-0. Okay, item E, information item, superintendent report.
Thank you, President Aviña. This week I had the exciting opportunity to attend our boys basketball and soccer quarterfinal CIF playoff games. Unfortunately, we fell just one game short of making it to the final game, but nevertheless, I want to congratulate our coaches and athletes for working hard, trying their best, and never giving up all the way to the final seconds of the games. Some highlights of our winter sports are in soccer. Our soccer saw strong performances from both teams. The boys finished ranked 6th in Division I, placed 3rd in Imperial Valley League, and advanced to the CIF playoff semifinals. And the girls soccer team placed 3rd in league and reached the first round of CIF playoffs. In basketball, concluded an exceptional season as well. The boys finished ranked 3rd in Division III, went undefeated in league play, and with an 8-0 record, and reached the CIF semifinals. The girls finished ranked 6th in Division III, went undefeated in Desert League play with a 9-0 record, and advanced to the second round of CIF playoffs. Wrestling also had an outstanding postseason with 4 boys and 3 girls medaling in Division I CIF and qualifying for the Masters tournament. Troy Sanchez and Jackie Benitez placed 2nd at CIF, while Jorge Bay and Leonel Canchola qualified for Boys Masters. On the girls' side, Amy Rosales placed 3rd and Brianna Tapia placed 5th, with Jackie, Amy, and Brianna advancing to the girls' Masters. At the Masters level, multiple athletes earned winning records. The wrestling team also captured the DVL championship with an undefeated league record. We are very proud of our students, athletes, and coaches for their hard work and accomplishments. Let's continue to support our student athletes in the final sports seasons of the school year. We are now underway with spring sports. Come out and support our tennis team, our swim team, track and field, volleyball, softball, and baseball teams. Last night, I had the great opportunity of visiting the STEM night at Blanche Charles Elementary School. It was truly exciting to see our teachers, students, and their families, our technology department, and even teachers from other schools attending and working this event. Also, a very special recognition, as always, to our food services staff for once again hitting it out of the park with their famous chili cheese dogs. It was a great event, and I want to congratulate and thank all of our staff who had a part in putting this great community engagement opportunity for our students and families. It was a full room, both in the cafeteria and in the makerspace. It was just absolutely exciting to be there, and I was very privileged to be there. I had ran over there, stayed for about half of the time, and then ran back to our soccer game was able to capture it from the halftime to the end of the game. Finally, last Friday, February 20th, I had the pleasure of attending the Calexico Little League opening ceremony. It was a wonderful event, and want to congratulate Mr. Jose Carrillo, the league president, and all of his team for putting a great program. The Calexico Little League has over 300 athletes from T-ball to majors, and the great majority of these athletes are students in the Calexico Unified School District. I even saw some of our staff serving as team coaches, and many CUSD staff members who were attending as parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, and other family and friends. I was honored as one of 4 community members to throw out the symbolic first pitch of the season. I made it over the plate. I don't think it was a strike, but I was very nervous about not making it over the plate, but I made it over the plate. So that was a lot of fun. That night I was also there as a member of the Calexico Host Lions Club. as the Alliance is a newly formed service club in the city of Calexico with an incredible group of people who are coming together to serve our community and to give back to Calexico, our families, our neighborhoods, and our students. The Calexico Host Lions Club was there to help raise money for the Calexico Little League, and so hopefully at a future report I could share information as to how much money was raised and how much money was going to go directly to the Little League for their cost of running a Little League program. And that concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. ROP Committee?
Good evening, President Aviña, Superintendent, trustees, staff, community. I distributed a copy of the quarterly publication that IVROP produces specifically for our school district. It just includes some of the highlights from this past quarter, including some stories and some pictures there of our recent CTE educational showcase. And I just want to remind you that on March 27, we, Calexico High School, are going to be hosting the annual welding skills event. So if you can put it on your calendars, March 27, I believe it's an all-day event. It's where the welding students from different high schools at the county come together and compete for that first prize. So mark that on your calendars, and that's it for my report on IVROP. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Calderon. Moving on to Insurance Committee.
Thank you, President Aviña. I'd like to ask our Assistant Superintendent of HR and Risk Management, Mr. Romel Guerrero, for a brief report on the Insurance Committee.
Good evening, President Aviña, trustees, Superintendent Jimenez, and members of the public in attendance here tonight. My name is Romel Guerrero. I'm your Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, and tonight I have a brief update on our last Insurance Committee. At our Insurance Committee, we were able to review the new ranges. As you can see up here, we have the ranges across all the different counties. For our county, the ranges are going to increase in an average of 12 to 15%. Having said that, you know, there are some reasons behind this. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons is inflation. But in the particular pool that we're in the CISC pool, we also have an increase in utilization. So, for example, one of the factors that we're looking at is there's 8 different prescriptions that account for 7.2% of the prescription overall increase. So in other words, there's 8 new prescriptions that are being used more, and which is good. We want that, but we also have to take that into consideration as we cost the insurance prices, right? Another highlight that was brought to our attention in regards to the increase in utilization or decrease, right, is we want folks to use their primary care as much as possible. We want folks to go to their primary doctor as much as possible. But we haven't seen that change yet, right? So it's something that we continue to promote. We continue to encourage folks to visit their doctor, their primary care physician yearly. And also the other part that we're trying to address is the urgent care and ER, right? So it was brought to our attention that in our pool, there has been an increase in utilization and the cost of service of the going to the ER. So we want to encourage folks to visit their primary care physician so that we can avoid the ER visits. The ER visits tend to be expensive. The other reason why the rates are the ranges are high is because there's high claims, in particular with our cancer treatment. In addition to that, we do have some new treatment options available to our members, and that includes new medicines for cancer treatment. Some in particular that costs an average of $61,000 per prescription. And as you can see on the screen, this particular one, that $61,000 prescription went from, it's a brand new one, so we had no one was using this prescription, but now that it's available, we have 27 members across our pool using this prescription, which is great. It's great news, but it does increase the cost of insurance. Another item that CIS has seen an increase is the use of glucose monitors, and those are about $700 per prescription. In addition to that, we do have unfunded mandated benefit changes that are being put on the carriers, and therefore those costs are also trickle down to the users. In addition to that, we've had some contracts with different hospitals and groups such as Scripps that have increased, and that also has an impact in the cost of insurance. This particular slide here just shows you that in the first quarter for our CIS pool, all of the insurance carriers have increased, right? So as a result, our ranges have also increased. That concludes our report. Are there any questions?
No? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Moving on to board reports. Mr. Contreras.
And want to make sure that we thank Ms. Montaño and Mr. Nunez once again for all their efforts and things that they do and the impact that they have on our students. And it's a great thing that they're being recognized for their services. Also, as we take a look at some of the teams, Mr. Jimenez, I see Mr. Jimenez running up and down to the different, I almost got him a cheerleading outfit because he's everywhere, right? But we were ranked, the boys basketball was ranked 2, not 3. We play Bulldogs that were ranked 3.
My apologies. Rank 2.
And I think, if you see, the more that we see our boys and our girls teams and all our teams participate in getting involved in it, we're keeping them away from the streets, right? I know that there is a lot of improvement in facilities that is being done, or at least we're attempting to make sports a lot safer for them, and to bring them up to, to be able to participate with larger teams and teams that have a lot of different type of facilities, that we don't have for our guys or in gals, right? But it's as we're moving forward to improving a lot of this with the other presentations that were made, we're improving their abilities, but also improving our community by doing that. And I'm really, really thankful that the board has taken the step of making sure that we realize some of these things that are being presented, so that it has the impact in our community. And with that, I just want to say thank you for the work that you're doing, Mr. Jimenez, in trying to make sure that you stay communicated with a lot of the youth and stuff. And now they don't just know the principal, they also know the superintendent, right? He came by the bench, said hello and stuff, so hello to people, and then the kids are like, hey, that's the superintendent, right? Like the main boss type of deal. And that has an impact on kids, right? It gives them something to look up to. And thank you.
Thank you.
For the record, he didn't come and say hi to me. Again, congratulations to Mr. Nunez, Ms. Montaño. I would like to also recognize and congratulate our winter athletes for their incredible accomplishments. Your determination, discipline, and teamwork truly makes us proud. Lastly, I want to thank our coaches for your continued mentoring and guiding. The time, effort, and encouragement you invest in our students make a lasting difference both on and off the field. With that being said, I also want to thank Mr. Contreras. He was there. Got to see third and fourth, towards the end of the third and fourth quarter. But the coaches, we don't really think about how much the coaches impact our students on and off the field. So I want to take this moment to thank you, Mr. Contreras, for your time. I know you go out of your way, time, money, everything you can think of to give students a better chance to succeed in life. And lastly, thank you all for your dedication and for representing our school with such pride. Thank you.
I'll continue. Again, thank you and good evening, everyone. Again, always a pleasure to recognize the good work happening in the district and with our staff, administration, certificated, and of course the classified. We all do it together every day. A lot of things happening for the board, and again, a lot of it mentioned here, many LCAP meetings, many school site visits. I think this board also had a chance to participate in the UNISERV meeting recently this week and, support our collaboration and partnership there. I just want to share, last night there was a Calexico Police Advisory Commission meeting. So I had a chance to attend that as well, just as there's some discussion about always traffic safety, and I was there for other reasons, but there were some comments about, traffic safety around schools and maybe what the city can do. So I shared some of that information with administration. I shared it with our director of school safety here. Also shared at the meeting as well, LCAP Goal 6, again, is always important around safety, and there were opportunities for the community to participate and share their comments and feedback. A lot of good comments were shared, I know, at the LCAP meeting this week, and staff aggregating that data, but safety is always a top concern for all of us, and wherever we're at in the district. But I think some of the comments shared there, maybe some ordinances being discussed might rise up to council, potentially around the placement of school safety signs in the streets, those cones that, I guess some of the concerns is just traffic safety. So there's discussion about that, and I know they'll reach out to the district, and we'll talk about that. But again, school safety is always a concern, so we'll be on top of that. Thank you.
I'll go next. So this week, I had the opportunity to accompany Chief Johnson, Chief Lizarraga, and 11 of their NJROTC students on a visit to Fullerton College to learn firsthand about their drone program. I want to extend my sincere thanks to Mrs. Gabrielle Williams for coordinating this trip, along with Fullerton College Student Services Coordinator Anika Schallenberger for hosting us and providing such an informative experience. Fullerton College is currently the only college on the West Coast offering a comprehensive drone program. They offer industry-recognized certification programs and an associate's degree, and beginning next school year, they will also offer a bachelor's degree in this field. The Fullerton Drone Lab focuses on 3 core areas. First, piloting. Students are trained to become skilled and safety-focused pilots of small unmanned aerial systems, also known as SUAS. The program prepares students for the Federal Aviation Administration's Part 107 certification exam. Additional training aligns with standards established by the National Institute of Standards and Technology and includes certification through the Association of Unmanned Vehicle Systems International's Trusted Operations Program. Second, manufacturing. In this area, students engage in engineering, designing, building, programming, and testing systems that address real-world challenges. These systems may be aerial, submersible, or ground-based. The program combines hands-on development with strong theoretical foundations in this multidisciplinary field. And third, application. Students learn how drones and autonomous systems are used across a wide range of industries, from agriculture and mapping to public safety and beyond. The program emphasizes practical, career-focused applications that prepare students with skills aligned to the needs of tomorrow's workforce. This was an excellent opportunity for our NJROTC students to see emerging technology pathways and to better understand the educational and career opportunities available in the growing field. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in April, we're going to coordinate to take another group of students, I believe seniors, to also see at firsthand what Fullerton College has to offer. And then it was also discovered that they offer a great esports major. And I know that we have some talent in that area. So I believe Ms. Williams is going to coordinate a trip for those students that are interested in that major. Beautiful campus, very, very old. It's the oldest. Don't remember if they said in the state or the country, but the oldest college, community college operating today. Very vintage, very old, but so well kept. you're in there and you don't even feel that you're in the city. Everyone is so polite, so welcoming, students, the staff. It was great to see the students just walking around. They also got a tour of the campus, not only of the drone program, but also the campus, and got to see the different opportunities for fully paid tuition that they can easily qualify for. And you can see how these students they were asking questions. They were asking questions, and a lot of questions regarding financial aid. You know, it's on their minds. They're carrying that weight of that concern, and it's sad to see that is reality. Everything costs money, but when the representative was talking about that promise grant, that 2 years fully paid tuition, their eyes just shined. Yeah. And they were asking, but how much does it cost to live out here? Yeah, well, Orange County is a pretty penny, but you know, we find a way. So I want to thank staff for the opportunity for having me join the team. That's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Calero, for that information. And, well, I want to congratulate our student athletes. You know, sounds like they did a great job. And like Mr. Arellano said, our coaches, you know, the work you guys do, it's, you know, very important. And Mr. Contreras, you know, thank you for, I mean, it's been years, I think. I don't know how many years, but for years you've been giving up your time and money and, you know, just coaching kids, right? And right now you continue doing that because you care. That's why you do it, because you care for kids. And, you know, thank you. We thank you for that. I also, along with other board members, attended 2 of the LCAP meetings, and like always, Ms. Ramirez does an excellent job. You know, parent participation was great. Of course, the food is always great at the LCAP meetings. Once again, thank you to Ms. Montaño, and congratulations to Ms. Montaño and Mr. Nunez. And Mr. Jimenez, no, thank you for being out there. Yeah, and like, no, we should get you a cheerleader outfit. You're out there always cheering for everybody. And my neighbor last night told me, I was talking to him outside in the driveway, and he said, "Hey, I met the superintendent from Calexico. He coaches soccer, but for the outside of the district." So I don't know how, but he met you. Hey, I met the superintendent. Yeah, okay, nice. So he's a nice. He liked you. So you made a good impression. And
he's a former Bulldog and played for Coach Bernal.
Yes, yeah, now you did. Yes. And what else I was gonna say? That's it. No, thank you, everybody. And 3 more months, a little bit over 3 months in school. The school year's over again, and about 50 more days for our state testing. 3rd through 8th grade and 11th. And I'm looking forward to looking at those results later after the year's over, and seeing the continued improvement our schools have been doing, because academic is the core of what we do, right? We want our kids to be academically ready to go to college, career, and everything else is super important. The facilities, buildings, everything, right? So that our students can learn and be ready to compete out there in the real world. And that's all. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item F, action items. Consideration and action, approval of the following items. Number 1, ratification of ACT tentative agreement, salary schedule, and AB 1200 disclosure of proposed collective bargaining agreement with Associate Calexico Teachers ACT for fiscal year 2025, 2026, and 2026 and 2027. And I want a motion to approve this item with a comment. I want to thank all the parties involved, ACT, the negotiating team for working in collaboration, for their time and their effort that they brought to the table. And it was a smooth negotiations. And I want to thank everybody for the time, for the good faith effort. And thank you. So
I'll take a second.
Second, okay. So we have a motion. Any comments, questions? Okay. All those in favor to approve?
Aye.
Aye. Motion 1 passes 5-0. Okay. Item number 2, first amendment to independent contractor agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and MFW Washing to provide mobile car wash services to the expanded learning vehicles. Do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion for approval.
I'll second.
Second, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0, sorry, 5-0. Item number 3, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Landmark Consultants Incorporation for the Laboratory of Record Services for the Measure Q Site Improvement Project, Increment 1.
Make a motion to approve?
Second? I'll second the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 4, agreement between the Calexico Unified School District and Touchpoint Industries for the purchase of biometric scanning smart clocks for various sites. Do you have a motion to
I'll
approve?
make a motion for approval.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes 5-0. 2026 CSBA Delegate Assembly Election nomination for Subregion 18B. Mr. Jimenez, can you give us a little information on that?
Absolutely. So, school boards in the state of California belong to the California School Boards Association. They provide just a library of resources, training, professional development, legal guidance, operational guidance on really an A through Z of governance, of school governance. And so every district has representatives that represent their district at the state level. And here in our region, we also, like the San Diego region, Orange County region, Ventura, all the different counties, we have a representative who is running for this to be our region's representative. Her name is Miss Sandy Nojim from Central Union High School District. So our board today has an opportunity of voting for her, and it counts as one vote on behalf of the board if the board approves her nomination. And then we will send this to the California School Boards Association, and if she received the majority of votes, she will represent our region at the state level.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Do you have a motion for this item?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. There's okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, okay. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 6, approval of the Calexico Unified School District comprehensive safety plans.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item 7, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at Cesar Chavez Elementary.
I'll make a motion.
Motion to approve. I second that. Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Motion passes 5-0. Okay. G, public comments, closed session items only. No. Okay. H, announcements of convening into closed sessions.